Hey everybody, Master Paul here from the Kitchen Dojo. Another quick little tasty recipe for you. This is called Colleens Chicken. And what we're going to do is we're going to take ourselves a chicken breast here, and I've trimmed this a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to pre-butterfly this, because this is going to be what we call a quick sauté dish, a la minute. So it means it's very quick in the pan, high heat. And I'll explain that to you later. Okay, so what we're doing here is I take my chicken breast, I've cleaned it, I've trimmed it, and I'm going to butterfly it. So when I butterfly it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an incision here, halfway through, and I'm opening it up there like I got a pocket. And then I'm going to continue to keep working that out, and I'm going to fan that out, just like so. So what happens here is I have my chicken breast. Now what I'm going to do here is I take myself a piece of saran wrap plastic, and what we're going to do is we're going to pound this really thin. So what I do is I take the plastic wrap over there, and that's going to prevent the mallet from tearing that meat in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of work that out, and I'm going to try to get this nice and thin and even. So this way again, so it kind of cooks, you know, relatively quick. Okay, so now I got that going. I'll use the side of the mallet now. And there we go. So now I got a nice piece of chicken. And this is really good when you're doing cutlets too. Okay? So now that I got that, what I want to do is I want to season it. So everything's got to have a little flavor. So I use a little salt. I'm going to use a little fresh ground pepper. Garlic powder, just a little bit of garlic powder in there. Okay, I'm going to use a little fennel. Fennel's going to give it that kind of licorice flavor. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little hot on there. Just get a little bit of red pepper flakes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to soak that up, and I'm going to get that. We've got to season both sides. We're not prejudiced. Both sides have to have flavor. All right, salt. Pepper, again, repeat, garlic powder, a little bit of fennel. We like the fennel. That's kind of going to give it that, again, that licorice flavor, and just a touch of the red. All right, great. So now that I got that, I have a hot pan over here, and we got a little bit of olive oil in there. And what we're going to do is I take my chicken that I have here, and I'm going to put it right in the pan, and we're going to put it away from us. This way I don't get all splashy splash. All right, so as that's going, we got the chicken in the pan. So what we do now is we're going to put together a little quick tomato sauce. It's also called a concasse, which is kind of like a chunky thing. So if you see me here, I'm going to get some onions in the pan. I got some onions. I got some garlic, and I'm just going to sweat that a little bit. And sweat means I'm just going to slowly extract the flavor out of that. Okay? Now, in the chicken in the pan here, as you can see, it's starting to go here. And the important thing is to let it alone. A lot of guys, they'll put something in the pan, and then they start messing around with it, and then it doesn't cook evenly. We're just going to let that be. Let it sit. And then when I start to see the ridges of it start to get a little dark, where it starts to brown, then that's when I'm going to flip it over. Okay? So now I got my onions and my garlic. I got them sweating real nice. Yeah, and I can get that garlic smell now. So now so now we have to do the tomatoes. I've taken some grape tomatoes, little cherry tomatoes, and I've put them between two Tupperware lids. I'm going to save myself a step, just a little hint in the kitchen. So this way they don't roll around all over the board. So I'll put them between there, a sharp knife, and I'm going to work my knife through. And now I have some cut tomatoes. So I'm going to take these cut tomatoes, I'm going to bring them back over to the pan here. It's going away. And there we go. We got them in there. We're going to let those reduce down. My chicken looks like it's ready to go. So I'm going to get a little flip on here. Look at that. Now that's the color I want right there. That is my color. Okay, so we got our tomatoes in the pan. I seasoned them with salt and pepper. And what we're doing is we're just slowly reducing this down here. And this is really this is a really nice little sauce you got here, you know. So all I have, again, I have olive oil, I got onions, I got garlic, I got salt, and I got pepper, and I have some chopped cherry tomatoes here. You know, if you wanted to jazz it up a little bit, I mean, you could put a splash of white wine in there and let that cook down as well. I like it like this. It's really rustic, it's really simple, good flavors. Okay, so now we're ready to plate. Now we're ready to plate. Again, this is a really simple, fast dish. So my chicken is done. I have my chicken here. What I did is I put some fresh mozzarella over here. And we're going to bring this over to the cutting board with fresh mozzarella on top of the chicken. I've taken my fresh tomato, what we say concassé, and I'm going to put that over there. You could serve this with another vegetable. You could serve this with rice. You could put this over linguine. Now I'm taking some fresh basil, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a little rough chop on this. This is fresh basil, and all I'm going to do is get what we call a chiffonade. And then here we go. There's my fresh basil over top. Okay, let's make sure the plate is clean. And get that other little particle there. There you go. That's Colleens chicken. It's healthy, it's delicious. You could put a side of pasta next to that, rice, another vegetable. Very tasty. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember, for more great videos, check out PPK Perfect Practice. I also teach karate and self-defense and things like that. Nobody beats me in the kitchen.